Have you ever had the feeling that something is wrong? In 1992, a man boarded this bus and disappeared for 3 days. When he returned, his eyes were completely black and he brought a warning. He had entered SETE-ALÉM, Portuguese for 7 beyond. It's not just a name, it's a warning. A parallel universe where familiar streets lead to places that don't exist. 87% of victims don't notice the transition until they hear the whisper,
"You shouldn't be here."
Some return with stories of days lost in minutes. Others never come back. Those who return are never the same again. Today you'll see what they saw, the accounts, the evidence, the theories, and the warning they left for those who dare to watch until the end. SETE-ALÉM isn't a place, it's a state of reality. A mirrored dimension that coexists with ours like a dark twin brother. There, the rules we know don't apply, and time is a flexible concept. Imagine waking up in a world where every second here equals 1 hour there, where people seem normal, until you notice they repeat the same phrases like a scratched record, where familiar objects change shape when you blink. The accounts are consistent. Water turning to blood, mirrors reflecting distorted versions of those who look into them. In 1998, a survivor described a book found in SETE-ALÉM. The pages rearranged themselves to form warnings in unknown languages. In 2020, CERN physicists recorded subatomic particles disappearing for 0.3 milliseconds, an impossible duration in quantum physics. Could this be a dimensional leak? What if SETE-ALÉM is just one of many parallel universes, and worse? What if it's not the worst of them? But there's one unbreakable rule. Whoever enters SETE-ALÉM never returns whole. Some bring back memories of days lost in minutes. Others return with something trapped in their minds. And there are those who claim that since their return, they're being watched by figures that only appear in their peripheral vision. These portals are closer than you think. It could be a public restroom in São Paulo, an abandoned staircase in Rio de Janeiro, or even the bus you take every day. What if today it makes an unscheduled stop? If you want to discover what waits on the other side, subscribe now. Every like is a signal for the algorithm to show you the way out. Share, but only with those you trust, even in SETE-ALÉM. São Paulo, 3:17 a.m., August 12, 1992. Luciano Milici, a 24-year-old student, boards Line 7 bus after a party in Vila Madalena, a famous bohemian neighborhood in São Paulo. The vehicle seemed normal, blue plastic seats, crumpled dentist ads. Except for 2 details. The conductor wore a CMTC uniform, São Paulo's bus company, with an inverted logo. All 7 passengers were reading the same newspaper. The State of 7, with the headline, "Are you reading this?" When sitting down, Luciano noticed his digital clock showed 32:61. When he asked the man beside him, "What time is it?" all 7 passengers turned their heads in sync and replied, "It's not your time." The driver accelerated toward the 9th of July tunnel, a street in the middle of the city which that night seemed 2 miles longer. When getting off under threats, Luciano swore he saw the bus enter an alley beside an abandoned building on Rua da Consolação, a street in São Paulo that in our world never existed. Porto Alegre, Brazil, Lindoya Mall, third floor restroom. On March 15, 2010, Julio Reyes enters to wash his hands. When leaving, he notices all stores sold impossible products. Flesh and memory, human meat with name tags. Optics of the void, glasses with black lenses. The central clock showed 4 simultaneous times. His reflection in the food court mirror didn't blink. When trying to film, his phone only showed error codes and hieroglyphs. He escaped when finding an emergency door with the sign, "Exit for those who didn't enter." When crossing it, Julio woke up on the real restroom floor with 3 missed calls from his own number. June 2015, mile 201 of BR 116 highway. Marcela Alves, a truck driver for 12 years, stops at Seven Brothers gas station. When restarting the engine, her dashboard showed unidentified red lights. The GPS traced routes in an unknown language, and her logbook had pages written by another hand. For around 165 miles, which her odometer registered as 5 miles, she saw no other vehicles, just identical telephone poles, each with a hanging shoe. When stopping to investigate, she found her own corpse on the roadside, wearing the same shirt as that day. Fainting saved her. When waking up, she was at the correct mileage, and inexplicably, her tank was fuller than before. Tokyo Airport, Japan, July 3, 1954. A tall man in a gray suit with nearly translucent blue eyes presents his passport at immigration. Name, illegible. Nationality, Taured. Visa, stamped from Tokyo's Imperial Hotel, dated December 18, 1953. When questioned, he insists Taured is a real country, showing invoices, driver's license, even a check from Taured World Bank. All printed on paper with a golden triangle watermark. When taken for interrogation, he looks through the window and points at the Japanese Alps in disbelief. "This is impossible. There should be Moisia Valley here where my watch factory is. Our products are unique. Each displays 7 time zones simultaneously." He opens his wallet, showing a photo. A golden triangular metal structure with uniformed workers inspecting glow-in-the-dark gears. A sign in the background. Temporal Factory of Taured, founded in 777. At 3:33 a.m., after leaving him alone with an untouched teacup, guards returned to find the door locked from inside, passport melted into metallic liquid. On the walls, 7 equations finger-written with what seemed like soot, all mathematically proving parallel universes. This incident remains unconfirmed by officials, but multiple corroborating pieces of evidence have surfaced. Was he a traveler from SETE-ALÉM or a glitch in our space-time? Comment. Before we dive into theories, you need an escape plan. Subscribe now. This is your safe portal back to this reality. Like this video, each like is a locator signal for the algorithm. Share, but only with those you take to SETE-ALÉM. Because if you get lost between worlds, at least your YouTube history will find you. In 1987, physicist Hugh Everett proposed that every human decision creates parallel universes. But what if SETE-ALÉM is a bug in this system? A parallel universe connected to ours, where everything we know remains the same, yet different, worn out and dark. The evidence. In 2001, a leaked Pentagon document described an experiment where particles exchanged mass with the other side. In all tests, the number 7 appeared in the data. Military dictatorship reports mention Operation 7 Stars, 1977 to 1985. Objective: create dimensional soldiers using modified ayahuasca brews. Result: 7 of 47 volunteers disappeared after describing the same place. A Brazil with 7 moons mirrored cities where Portuguese was written with 7 extra letters. The project was canceled after an incident where a soldier returned with 2 coexisting memories. Theoretically, in 2023, anonymous hackers leaked codes allegedly from Earth's simulation containing if reality is equal to 7, load dimension, SETE-ALÉM. An entity called the Watcher would be responsible for fixing errors between dimensions. In 2018, Brazil's Space Research Institute, NPE, identified magnetic anomalies at alleged SETE-ALÉM portal locations. CBS-4 satellite data showed 7 nanoteslas variations in magnetic field, an inexplicable pattern. Specific points where compasses spin 77 degrees instead of magnetic north. Neurologist Dr. Carlos Bastos, USP, studied 17 cases of people who reported SETE-ALÉM experiences, all shared. Previous exposure to high geomagnetic zones, abnormal melatonin levels in the brain, a hormone regulating reality perception. The most shocking case occurred in 2022 when soldiers in Manaus, Brazil, reported temporary disappearances during drills in an area with rocks magnetized 7,000 years ago, possibly by ancient civilizations who already knew the phenomenon. Geologists from a famous university in Brazil identified 7 Brazilian spots with identical magnetic anomalies where compasses point to 7 degrees northwest. Animals avoid exact 7 square meter areas. Photos show 7 ghost frames per minute. Most chillingly, these points form a perfect triangle on the map, exactly like the symbols in Taured documents. If you remember everything we've seen today, answer. How many times did the number 7 appear in this video? How many objects in your home are slightly different now? How many people you know have acted unlike themselves? SETE-ALÉM isn't a distant place. It's a glitch in your perception. And the accounts prove the more you know, the closer it gets. If you detect these signs, mirrors showing impossible angles, cover them with black cloth. People with deep black eyes, avoid eye contact. Electronics producing static turning on at 3 a.m. Cut the power. The only tested method to prove you're in the right world. Watch this video again. If anything's different, you know where you are. This channel is your anchor against SETE-ALÉM. So hit the bell. You're alert when they change something. Comment 7, our dimensional rescue code. Save to playlist. Your map if you disappear. Because tomorrow when you wake up, how will you know if you return to the right place?
They are coming.